Shopping for the names you can really trust, it's so easy. Want to pay less? Well, you know you can just take it easy. Argos makes life easy for you. Choose at home, that's what you do. It's so easy. A simple way to choose. Come and put it to the test. Shopping's easy. Argos cuts the cost for you. The catalog's free and easy to take it easy.
Pick up the new free Argos catalog now.
It's so easy.
I'm just starting out in life, but my standards are already pretty high. That's why I'm so excited about Standard Life. Well, one day I'll need an endowment mortgage for a home of my own, and savings too. How else could I afford my own transport? I might even want to retire to the seaside on a good pension. And it would be nice to know me and my loved ones are covered by Standard Life Assurance. Standard Life, for all of your life.
I've invited Eric for tea. Come on, Eric. Cause it's Heinz Spaghetti, Eric. He's fussy about his food, aren't you, Eric? You're right. It is delicious.
But there's nobody there.
Eric says United are sure to win the cup this year.
They might well do. More Heinz Spaghetti, Eric?
Is someone you love a Heinz Spaghetti lover?
You've got some on your chin, Eric.
Due to closure of main storage warehouse, Texas Homecare must clear out £2 million worth of stock regardless of cost. There's paint, wall coverings, DIY, kitchens, tiles and bathrooms. There's savings of 30, 40, 50, 60, even 70%. Don't miss the Texas £2 million warehouse clearance. You won't regret it.
Nice of you to drop by, Des. I said this morning we grab Des round, buy him a pint. An honest pint. Good character. Pint you can trust, Des. See to him, then.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
Happy birthday, Desmond.
Trust Toby. Good honest bitter.
Showing soon on LWT, a new series of films with murder.
No one wants to hurt you or the child.
Chilling mystery.
Daddy, please say something.
I've never seen this woman before in my life.
Gripping suspense.
Where's the guy with the gun? He jumped over the turnstile. He's on his right foot.
Saturday nights, soon on LWT. Murder, mystery, suspense.
In just a moment, we'll be joining ITN for the latest international news.
Are you ready to get closer? Getting ready to let Blue II to blade shave you closer. Let's step into the blue. Gillette Blue II.
Norsk Data, Europe's leading maker of super mini computer systems, is now very much at home in Britain. So welcome to our new headquarters, to the innovation, flexibility, swift response and sheer effort that makes Norsk Data so utterly different.
There will be times when you're running late and need to phone the office but don't have any coins on you.
Got any money? Not that. Dopey. Oh, that's no good.
Which is why we developed a Phonecard. Available from main post offices or selected newsagents, a Phonecard lets you make your calls without worrying about change.
Hello, sir.
Now, you, is
It's me, fool.
So if it looks like you're going to be held up, make sure you've got a phone card.
His army was in disarray. Winter had set in. The retreat had begun. Supplies, once plentiful, were running out. He knew his army marched on their stomachs, but no more. Half crazed with hunger, the battle-torn band at last reached home to a feast fit for heroes. Spread before them was the food they had craved during their terrible ordeal. Meanwhile, their leaders soldiered on.
What's it all about, Alfie?
I'm quite willing to overlook the odd blemish in a woman, provided she's got something else to make up for it.
Don't you ever think about bringing your girlfriends flowers or candy?
Yeah, I often think about it, but I never do it.
Shall I say you'll be back about 7, Alfie?
You can say what you like. Whether I'll be here or not is another matter.
Now, you're getting careless these days, Alf.
Well, what harm can it do?
Michael Caine is Alfie tomorrow at 10:30 on 4.
And it'll round off the tea nicely.
All the pieces come together in TV Times. Holidays, offers, competitions, programs. So you can plan ahead. Get TV Times this week. See what you might miss.
Surprise, surprise on Sunday. Who will it be?
I'm looking for someone rather special in our audience, Christine Stewart. Where are you, Christine?
Surprise, surprise. A knight in shining armour.
You like the suit? I've got it second-hand. Not a bit of rust.
Who's Bob calling on? Let's hope he has more luck than Scylla. A surprise for Scylla and the film crew. Find out more on Sunday at 7:45 in Surprise, Surprise.
This is LWT. At 9:15, Tales of the Unexpected, and there'll be one or two fascinating tales, no doubt, in Aspel and Company at 9:45. But now today's international news from ITN with Carol Barnes at 9 o'clock.
Heseltine's big speech tomorrow. Is he out to topple Thatcher? The Philippines, Cory Aquino is still ahead. Baby Doc is in France, but the killings go on in Haiti. And a new world record for Zola Budd. Good evening. Mr. Michael Heseltine, the former Defence Secretary, is tonight putting the finishing touches to a major speech that's being seen as the first shot in his campaign to take over from Mrs. Thatcher. The speech, which he'll deliver tomorrow, contains strong criticisms of her policies. Young Conservatives in Blackpool gave him the go-ahead to address them after a secret debate this evening. Earlier, senior Tories had been rallying support for the Prime Minister.
Mr. Heseltine has a reputation as the darling of Tory conferences. And much to the government's anger, the young Conservatives invited him to speak to them after his resignation. In his first major speech at a Tory gathering since he went to the backbenches, he's not planning to mention Westland at all. Instead, he'll use his new freedom to set out his political stall. He's much influenced by his experience as Minister for Merseyside. His strategy then was to try and work with private enterprise to create jobs. The key to tackling unemployment, he thinks, lies with government intervention, but not with big new government spending. His speech will inevitably be interpreted as the opening of a campaign for the Tory leadership, despite his friends' denials. In the time-honoured Conservative way, it'll be full of open praise for the government, but heavily laced too with coded criticisms which will be obvious to his audience. In a key passage, he's expected to talk about the government setting the strong free, then blaming the weak when the strong fail. There'll be talk of wars not being lost by foot soldiers. Another theme's likely to be Europe. In the wake of the Westland affair, he'll be calling for less half-hearted support for European cooperation. And after his devastating performance at the Defence Select Committee last week, Mr. Heseltine's words will be causing even more anxiety to a government which looks increasingly beleaguered and to a leader whose position is now for the first time under real threat.
When Mr. Heseltine takes to the platform tomorrow, he's certain to face a rough ride from young Tory right-wingers. Young Conservatives chairman Richard Fuller, who invited the former Defence Secretary, appealed to them tonight to cool it, but the invitations divided delegates and fired anti-Heseltine feelings.
Well, I think he'll get a very good reaction. Michael Heseltine has stood up for his principles in the Conservative Party. That is something we admire. These people out here, these haven't stood up for their principles.
I think he'll get an extremely annoyed and angry reaction from the way he's trying to divide the party in his own interest in becoming leader. The leadership are afraid to even tell us that he's speaking. They're afraid to vote on whether we even want to hear him. I think that fear is an indication of the reception he'll probably receive.
Earlier, a calmer conference heard Energy Secretary Peter Walker call on Conservatives to regain the initiative, to be seen as the People's Party.
We must be a party with lowering numbers of unemployed people. The party which is improving our education and our housing. The party which is looking after the elderly and is tackling the horrific problems of our inner cities. All of this can be done in the next 2 years. And now, in my judgment, is the time to put the sideshows behind us and concentrate on the real issues that affect our people. And if we do that, we will have a decisive election victory.
Mr. Walker's reception, the warmest of the day, and one Mr. Heseltine may envy tomorrow. Kevin Dunn, ITN, Blackpool.
The leader of the Commons, Mr. John Biffin, has warned against what he calls the raucous style of the Tory leadership. In a letter to his constituency, he said, the language of conflict can easily degenerate into self-defeating aggression. It's being seen as an attack on the Conservative chairman, Mr. Norman Tebbit. Production of Mr. Rupert Murdoch's News of the World has been disrupted tonight after printers in Manchester ignored a court ruling to work normally. They're blacking the paper in support of the 6,000 print workers sacked by Mr. Murdoch in London. And 3,000 trade unionists have been demonstrating outside his new printing plant at Wapping.
They gathered as News International workers for tonight's third full print run at the Wapping plant ran the gauntlet of jeers from those sacked by Mr. Murdoch. But it was women rather than men on the march tonight, a show of solidarity aimed at the heart of Mr. Murdoch's empire. Some women took their children along, one baby boy, a passive protester.
Where do you go from here?
Where we go from here is continue our dispute. It's not over yet, it's early days. You can see the feeling of people here now.
Their message was clear enough, spelt out in headline terms that Mr. Murdoch would understand. 2,000 pickets welcomed the marchers. Police said it began well-behaved, but there have now been a number of arrests. Brent Sadler, ITN, Wapping.
Now abroad, and the final result in the Philippines election is expected tomorrow. But already President Marcos says he's considered declaring the poll invalid. Early official and unofficial returns put the opposition leader, Cory Aquino, narrowly ahead, and she says Marcos should resign.
When Cory Aquino claimed victory today, her supporters were naturally ecstatic. But her opponents accused her of deliberately prejudging the result, so that if she lost, she would be able to claim her opponent cheated. That did not stop her later directly challenging President Marcos to concede.
I hope that it will be possible to meet with Mr. Marcos in the early part of this coming week to make arrangements for a smooth and quick transition of power.
The president was clearly forced on the defensive by her unexpectedly early declaration, and he hastily scheduled his own press conference in which he called on Mrs. Aquino to present evidence to support her claim.
So if she says that she is winning, let's take a look at the proof.
The confusion exists because two separate organizations are conducting their own counts at different speeds. But both have Cory Aquino slightly ahead, although as of tonight, 17 million votes have still to be counted. John Suchard, ITN, in Manila.
There's a special ITN programme about the outcome of the Philippines election, Marcos the Verdict, at 1:30 tomorrow lunchtime on Channel 4. About 100 people are now thought to have died in Haiti in the wave of revenge killings after the departure of the dictator Baby Doc Duvalier. The caretaker military government has now formed a new cabinet and released all political prisoners. There's a 16-hour curfew to try to stop the violence. Duvalier himself, with his wife and 20 other supporters, has taken refuge in France after being flown out of Haiti by the Americans. A country hotel near the Swiss border has been cleared for them, but the French government, with elections imminent, is insisting they move on soon. In Paris, as in Haiti, there's been public celebration of Baby Doc's downfall.
In Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, the celebrations have been almost non-stop since the news broke. The people danced in the streets, waving palm leaves. Pictures of the hated dictator were smashed off walls and broken into pieces. Anything bearing his symbol was broken up. The people here are very poor and there's been much looting. This was the home of a member of the Tonton Macoute, Duvalier's private army of security men who are now the target of revenge attacks by the crowds. In this case, the man eventually appeared, brandishing a rifle to drive the crowds away. Duvalier fled during the night, he and his entourage heading for the airport in a fleet of luxury cars. He's at the driving seat of this BMW. They were taken away in a United States Air Force jet. For the time being, his place has been taken by a military junta who've been preoccupied trying to restore calm. It's going to be a difficult job. These desperately poor people have dreamed for 30 years of an end to the Duvalier dynasty. Now it's come their way, they still don't know how to handle their newfound freedom. Ken Rees, ITN, Miami.
Now sport, and with all the details, here's Ian Edwards.
Zola Budd, the 5,000 metres world record holder, has smashed the 3,000 metres record indoors at Cosford. Racing for Great Britain against Hungary in the Peugeot Talbot Games, she took 3 seconds off the world's best time and 16 seconds off the Commonwealth record, finishing in 8 minutes 39.66 seconds. Alan Parry is the commentator.
She's going to be very close, 8:42. She's surely going to do it. Yes, a fabulous new world record for Zola Budd.
Seb Coe also came back into winning ways at Cosford. He led a British 1-2 in the 1,500 metres. But his time of 3 minutes 45 seconds was nowhere near record-breaking form. It was 7 seconds outside the UK record. Another world record was broken in Moscow in the pole vault. World champion Sergei Bubka set a new indoor best when he cleared 5 meters 92 at a national meeting. He beat the previous height set by America's Joe Dole by 1 centimetre. Out of doors, the weather took its toll. 32 soccer matches were lost and there was no racing. In the few matches that were played, there were only 19 in the Cannon League. Chelsea's chance for the top was blown away in a blizzard by third from bottom Oxford. The result 4-1. Former Chelsea winger Peter Rhodes-Brown started the rot against his old side after just 11 minutes. So there's no change at the top of Division 1. Everton are still there, but it could change tomorrow when Liverpool meet Manchester United at Anfield. Spurs' gloomy progress at White Hart Lane continued. Their second lowest crowd since the war saw them go down by a single goal to Coventry.
Coventry played with much more composure and invention than their league position suggested. Bennett cutting through the Spurs' defence to find Brazil. The talented striker, recently rejected by Spurs, had returned to torment his old club. It was evident that he'd reached a good understanding with his new club colleagues. Bennett again, and Regis combining to give him another crack at goal. In the second half, with the Spurs' defence at 6s and 7s, only Clements in goal could match the class of Brazil. That's not to say that Spurs themselves didn't create scoring chances. It's just that the more they had, the less likely they seemed able to finish properly. An unexpected break from defence was to resolve the stalemate. Cyril Regis latching on to the clearance, his power and speed beating Mabbott, Miller and this time Clements as well. And the first to congratulate him was his partner, Brazil.
In the Scottish Premier League, Motherwell, already on the way down, provided the day's upset, beating Rangers 1-0 and spoiling any last hopes they had of taking the title. Hearts stay top after beating Dundee, extending their unbeaten run to 20 games, and Aberdeen move up to third. Only 3 of the 8 matches in the 4th round of Rugby Union's John Player Cup went ahead this afternoon. Moseley gambled with 1,100 bales of straw to protect their pitch, but they're probably wishing they hadn't, as the cup holders Bath beat them by 22 points to 4.
Any English club starts second favourite to Bath, but the cup holders were literally caught cold when, in only the 5th minute, from an astute kick, John Goodwin timed his touchdown to perfection. A damaged shoulder forced the former England flanker Nick Jevons to leave the field, hardly the sort of luck anyone needs against Bath, who followed a penalty with John Hall's pushover try as Mosley's pack stood and watched. Bath was so obviously the superior side, highlighted by devastating bursts of speed from halfbacks many felt might have been England's this year. It wasn't until the final 10 minutes that their steady pressure finally breached the Mosley defence and a try to John Morrison. Too late, Mosley ran the ball to give scope to their speedy wingers Goodwin and Payne. Of Hall, ITN Sport, the Reddings.
England have made a good start in their first innings against the Leeward Islands. In reply to the Leewards' first innings score of 236, Gooch and Robinson put on a first wicket stand of 118. And the score at tea was England 237 for 3.
And that's the news tonight. Good night.
As the government's difficulties mount, what alternative vision does Labour offer? Neil Kinnock will be interviewed live on Weekend World tomorrow at noon on ITV.
The weather forecast. There'll be further snow showers later tonight, heaviest to the east of London, perhaps giving a few inches of snow in Kent and Essex and a covering elsewhere. Lowest temperatures -3 degrees Celsius, 27 Fahrenheit in central London, -6 outside the city. Tomorrow will be a day of sunny intervals and scattered snow showers. Very cold again. Highest temperature around 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. Winds will be light to moderate, northeasterly. Next tonight, a story of love and revenge. Our tale of the unexpected.
We don't need to show you what an exotic holiday is like. With Beachcombers prices, you can go on one for real.
I don't suppose you have a copy of Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley. It is rather old. It's by J.R. Hartley.
No luck, Dad. Never mind. There's still a few more to try.
Good old yellow pages. We don't just help with the nasty things in life, like a blocked drain. We're there for the nice things, too.
You do? Oh, that's wonderful. Can you keep it for me? My name, oh yes, it's J.R. Hartley.
If you have to drive a car that's thirsty, uncomfortable, and noisy, that needs constant servicing and tire changes, and then still lets you down when you need it most, you'll appreciate a car that doesn't, and won't.
These days, everyone is agreed that healthier eating is important. But do you have to change your cooking habits or give up treats like these? Certainly not. The secret's in Good For You, a brand new look at cooking that shows just how simple it is to make any meal healthier, with recipes by the Good Housekeeping Institute. Family favorites like roast lamb, lasagna, cheesecake, even these gingerbread men. And then discover exciting new recipes, as healthy as they are delicious. So you see, you can have your cake and eat it too. Good For You. It really will be.
More than 1 million motorists, satisfied that on the road at least they couldn't be better insured, are discovering to their delight that the same thorough, fully comprehensive general accident approach can also be applied to their homes, their savings, and their lives. Talk to General Accident. In an uncertain world, it could well be your best policy.
Different look on Sunday's dawning, better read on a Sunday morning.
Catch the Sunday Mirror.
There's a lot more going on.
The latest sport. Plus tomorrow, nightclub millionaire Peter Stringfellow.
His secrets.
His mad world with the superstars.
Plus, Dirty Dan's mistress, her slimming nightmare. And win a Concorde supersonic trip.
The Family Sunday Mirror. Bringing the news in a way that's right for Sunday.
Look forward to tomorrow with a bigger and better Sunday Mirror.
7:15 Sundays, worldwide prizes can be won. Catchphrase could whisk its winners for a trip up the Nile or a QE2 cruise. They could take a flight of a lifetime or holiday in a tropical paradise. All this and more in Catchphrase.
Meanwhile, back on Saturday night on LWT, in half an hour, Michael Aspel invites some more company along for a chat. This weekend, we enjoy the anecdotes of Jill Gascoigne, David Steele and Nigel Havers. Aspel and Company at 9:45. Nigel Havers, David Steele and Jill Gascoigne keep Michael Aspel company after the break.
When I moved to Telford, they gave me a great place to work and some very impressive neighbours. There are stunningly modern offices here, even an enterprise zone. The M6 is just 20 minutes down this motorway, and Birmingham is only 30 miles away. But there's so much to do here. My family is always out. I know. They like to go for walks around here. Perhaps they're shopping. Wrong again. No. I know.
I've been looking for you all over Telford.
Nice, isn't it?
Move your business to Telford, the growing state.
Mike, how did it go? Fabulous trip, just like clockwork.
Never mind the trip, the contract.
Thomas Cook were great. The flight, the hotel, how they do it for the price, I'll never know.
Fine, but the contract.
They even laid on a small plane to get us to the site. I think we should get one.
Mike, did we get the contract?
Well, how else do you think we're going to finance our own jet?
Thomas Cook, quite simply the best business travel service in the world.
Is Britain keeping up with other countries? In Indonesia, for instance, a company is battling against all the odds to find oil, and they're doing the same in 29 other countries. In Africa and parts of the developing world, they have fridges powered totally by the sun, so vaccines can now be stored under the right conditions. In Sweden, they're using a new home insulating foam, so incredibly fire-resistant it could save lives. And in some Middle East countries, they're queuing up to buy a high-quality lubricating oil produced in Europe. So, is Britain falling behind?
You must be joking, mate. With all this going on.
Do us a favour. What do you think this is? Scots mist?
Not at all. Who do you think's responsible for this little beauty?
Don't be daft. We're doing marvellous, man.
Well, I was only asking.
BP, Britain at its best.
Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs someone. Everybody needs a little tenderness. Everybody needs somebody to love.
Suchard, because everybody has a special somebody.